Hello, my name is Father Brian Ching. I'm a Holy Cross priest, and I currently serve as the rector of the Basilica of the Sacred Heart here on the campus of the University of Notre Dame. But for 3 years, I had the pleasure of being the deacon and then associate pastor at St. Joe, and it's a great joy to speak to all of you this day. I wanted to spend a minute just talking about the theme of fatherhood. It might seem strange for a priest to talk about fatherhood since we don't have natural families of our own, but the tradition of the church has long spoken of priests as spiritual fathers, people who seek to care for the flock and people they minister to. For me, the notion of spiritual fatherhood really came to bear as I spent 6 years as the director of our college seminary. In many ways, that job required melding the notion of being a spiritual father with some of the more traditional understandings of being a father. My job was to care for them and to help them grow in love of the Lord and in discernment of their call, but also to just help them mature and grow as human beings, coming in as 18-year-old young men and hopefully leaving a little bit more well-rounded, a little bit more balanced, and a little bit more healthy. One of the most important lessons I learned during my time as the director of our college seminary was that being a good father meant modeling life the well of faith. That the men in my care really encouraged and challenged me to live my best life, to take my life of prayer, my relationship with the Lord as seriously as I could, so that I could convey it to them in an authentic and genuine way. In many ways, being a father pushed me in a very real sense to be the best version of myself, to recognize that others were dependent on my ability to pray and to live a relationship with Jesus. There was a lot that I learned in those years. There was a lot that the collegians taught me. And there was a lot of growing that I did for my own sake because I knew that I had to be a good model and example for the seminarians under my care. In many ways, being a father really is about showing the people around us the love of Christ, the mercy of Christ, the compassion of Christ, the patience of Christ. And those things are not the easiest to do. And certainly those around us can often test our patience and test our mercy and test our care. But if we are to be good fathers, if we are to be men following the life of Christ, the people around us really do push us and challenge us to be as Christ-like as possible, to emulate the Lord's love and mercy in all that we do, so that we can be conveyors of his grace, so that we can be conveyors of his love. To be a father is to show Christ's love to those around us at the most basic sense, whether biological, adoptive, or spiritual. And so as we spend just a little bit of time reflecting on the notion of fatherhood today, let's simply ask the Lord for the grace to notice our own areas of weakness, to notice those own ways in which we can grow closer to the Lord, those ways in which we can be a little bit more faithful to the life of prayer and the life of discipleship. And let's ask the Lord to help us grow in those areas so that we can share his love as best as we can, as broadly as we can, to all those who we love and care for.